What is going on, people? This is your New York Mario, filming this video to, of course, talk about a video game con, which was September 19th of 2015, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to basically go over my whole experience overall. I'm going to explain the con itself, and I'm going to give my overall impression while showing you some footage of the con, because I managed to get some pretty decent amount of footage. By the way, I may sound a little deep because I had so much fun yesterday that I'm a screamer, by the way. I scream for fucks, just for fuck of it, just to have fun. So I kind of lost my voice, so bear with me over here. And so basically, real quick, I just want to say that, you know, like, I had a really awesome, really wonderful time at the AVGC con. For a first time convention, it almost blew my mind. Like, you know, like I'm really glad I came to this con, like, in general, because like and shout outs to some call me Johnny for uploading that video, like, you know, a couple weeks ago, because if it wasn't for him, I probably would not have known about this. So I said, oh, hey, you know, this looks good. Like, you know, hey, I want to go. Let's go. Like, you know, and then I got a group of friends of mine to come with me. And then we went, and then we had a lot of fun. Well, we also did a couple of things. Parsippany, it was in Parsippany, New Jersey, and which, by the way, is extremely far from, especially from where I am in New York. It's extremely far. So that's why I had to have a friend drive us. Well, he had fun too, and of course he got in. I mean, he wasn't like a chauffeur or anything like that. He didn't just drive us for nothing. Like, no, he wanted to, like, you know, experience the con itself and whole other stuff. So let's just actually get into the journey of AVGC instead of just hearing me rambling on about it for like 10 to 20 minutes or so. So here you go.
What's up, people? This is your New York Mario, and we're going to AVGC.
You gotta go in the first time. Oh,
got my buddy Philip over here. He's gonna drive us.
What up, Dr. Eggplant?
stupid.
Oh, hi. I'm the black guy in the back seat. I'm Knuckles. Hi, how you doing?
Gina, Hispanic in the back seat.
This is Khalil, aka Son, aka you know what it is. I'm black and Hispanic, so. What you got a problem with me being happy? The fuck yo. Holy what? Yes. I did not know that. Jeez. $1.89 for regular gas in Jersey? Holy crap. It's like $2.50. It's like $2.80 in New York.
We're here. We're at the video game concert with the fucking venue.
Now Phil, the only thing Phil has to do is find parking.
Well, let's see. That shouldn't be too hard.
Oh, let me put the rest of my stuff on. And it's in a youth center. That's like, that kind of killed my expectation a little bit. And I'm thinking like, oh, it's gonna be at a big ass stadium. Oh, look, there's Knight Rider.
They were hyping up. There's a fucking tank over there in the fucking area.
What?
Look at that shit, there's a fucking tank.
Yo, how else was CJ supposed to get here from San Andreas?
Oh shit!
Hey, doesn't it remind you of somebody? Your brother? I was gonna say that. We over here all up in this goddamn tank. I mean, look at that shit. Look at that shit.
Tank. Oh, it's a tank. It's a fucking tank. Building looks small.
Very small.
You look at that. You look at that colorful shit. You see that guy? We got the Knight Rider car. It's crazy.
So when we arrived to the con, the first place that we go to is a little small gymnasium that had pretty much nothing but classic video game arcade machines, which looked so awesome. It was so paradise. As you can see, the AVGC logo was on top because that was the stage, which I was assuming that somebody was going to perform there. Someone did later during that day. So yeah, I managed to play the Donkey Kong game, which I think was called Kong Off 4, I think. And then I played the Street Fighter 2 one, which was pretty cool. Although I did get my ass kicked, kinda. I didn't really get a lot of footage of it though, and I also did get this picture with this girl who cosplayed Iggy, which was nice though. It was kind of like an awkward encounter maybe, because when you meet a character, who's an enemy, in your franchise, it's like, oh, like you might have one of those role-playing situations where it's like, oh, so you're here, so it's like, it was pretty cool. So that was pretty nice, but we didn't really, we were only there for like 10 minutes though, because it was just, there wasn't really all that much to play. Well, in our opinion, there was not. So then we went to the larger gymnasium, which had even more games. They actually had consoles there. It was much bigger, and and then I also forgot to mention that when we got to the first gymnasium with the arcade machines, my mustache could not stay on because it was so hot in there. It was really, really hot in there because of all the people, all the body heat in that particular place. So that's why we went to the other gymnasium, which it was so much better. It was so much better, but it wasn't perfect though. But it wasn't. I mean, it was not as hot in there basically. So my mustache was able to stay on. Excuse me. So there were a couple games. There was Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Atari, the 5200 or 6800, I think. What it was? The one with the tablet-sized controller or something like that. I ended up playing Yoshi's Island on the Super Nintendo, and Super Mario Bros. 3 on the NES, and then there was Soul Calibur on their GameCube, and of course there was the Wii U. But there was a section in the bigger gymnasium that was mostly the current generation consoles, the PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U. But those were more catered to the tournament scenes. They had Mortal Kombat X, Killer Instinct, Super Smash Wii U, and a whole bunch of other modern fighting games that you can think of. But the others. I also ran into Elliot.
I ran into Elliot over here.
The third gaming brother.
Hi. The mustache keeps coming out because it's fucking hot up in here and shit.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, but so my first time meeting him, it was pretty cool. Like, you already know. On Mortal Kombat L.
Mortal MK times.
Yeah. Good one.
Nice.
Good one.
Yeah, that was the really one of the highlights for me for this convention. Was meeting Some Call Me Johnny and his little brother, and pretty much the rest of the Super Gaming Brothers, which was one of the coolest things, in my opinion, that I've ever experienced in my life. Just meeting, it's not often that I don't know about you, but it's not often that I meet YouTubers at a con or anywhere else, especially like, if you're just seeing them randomly on the streets or stuff like that, So eventually we went to the vendor's room, which is actually literally connected to the bigger gymnasium with the consoles and stuff like that. I got it, because basically, the smallest gym was the classic game section. The biggest gymnasium was the consoles and free play, and the not as big gym was the vendors. And the vendors, of course, I did get some footage of that. It was a pretty big vendors room. They had so many games. It felt like I was in too many games, although I have not been to too many games. But it was so amazing. Just seeing all these vendors having these video game items like sprites and artwork and fan art. And then there was this one vendor that had amiibos made out of these recreated into these zombie thingies. They called them zombie bows. It was pretty nice. It was I'm like, what? And I saw them and then Wario had these little two things coming out of his mouth. And it was just fucking disgusting. It was just really really creepy and all that stuff. But it was still pretty cool. It was something original. It was pretty nice. It was kind of like a mix, like a twist or whatever. And also, I was looking for a couple games to buy, of course. I wanted to buy something, just one thing. There was a couple vendors that had Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. One of them had it for $25, and then another one had it for $20, and then another one had it for $15, so I didn't really want to spend a lot of money, to be honest with you. So, and then there was this one vendor. I seriously got tricked. Well, more like I misunderstood. There was this one vendor that had Super Mario Bros. 3 for the NES. And then I took it out of the box. I looked at it and I said, "Oh my god, it's $5." And then I got tempted to buy it though. But then, because the price tag, the little circle price tag, it said $5 though. But then I did not notice that 1 in front of the 5. So it turned out to be $15, and I'm like, "Oh my god, my dream was crushed. Can't buy it now." It's just, because I wanted to buy something that was affordable, in my opinion. I'm a cheap bastard, so.
Knuck's about to sweat the fuck out of this Knuckles chaotic shit. Look at it. Oh my god, they got Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. That's nuts. But it's $85. Fuck.
One of the coolest vendors I've seen was this Lego vendor that had a NES controller made out of Lego, and it was so huge. Like, you had to use your hands, your entire hand to press the buttons, the D-pad, and everything else, and they actually were buttons. You press them and then they worked, and it was really, really crazy. And then the screen was playing Tetris. It was amazing. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And they also had this little Lego thingy that was a Mario type thingy, which was cool. But no, seriously, that NES controller Lego was pretty awesome to see. Like, you have a big controller made out of Lego. That is crazy. And you, especially when they take out the thing on top, that you see like all the wires and the circuits and everything else, like just connected and just programmed in that particular thing. That takes time right there. That kind of thing takes time and dedication. I don't even know if that controller was for sale. I doubt it was. Maybe, I don't know. But that even if someone were to buy that, I'm pretty sure it would be so heavy.
So what do you make of this con so far?
It's fucking awesome. And there goes Elliot right behind us. Behind him. Genesis!
There was this other vendor that had Knuckles Chaotix for the 32X, and when we got Knuckles to see that, he gave like the only face that I can. Oh my god!
Booster rides on your game. Knuckles Chaotix.
But for $90,
Wait, hold on.
I approve though.
Approve?
Yes.
Shortly after that, we did finally see a Knuckles cosplayer, a damn good one at that. He had a giant Master Emerald made out of foam, or whatever you call it. It was a giant phone, and
I just ran into Knuckles.
And Knuckles.
Knuckleception?
Knuckles and Knuckles.
Yo, this guy
never
got
Knuckles and Knuckles.
the Master
The
Emerald.
Master Emerald. Shoes with the freaking socks.
Oh my god.
You spray painted these? Yes, airbrush, yeah. Oh my goodness. Damn, playwrights and all
Fucking
airbrush.
awesome. Look at this shit.
Mine's is actually made from Nike Adidas.
Battle of the sneakers.
Yeah, and I got my
Nice.
my name on the other one.
Nice,
Yep.
nice. That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Holy crap.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Definitely, man.
What
Yo,
is this, Knuckles
Knuckles and
Generations?
Knuckles. There is no grandma.
Let me get a picture with y'all too. Yo, he is sweating on this fucking
know.
Knuckles.
Yo, that is amazing. Yo,
Thank you.
if you had my gloves.
Dude, that's freaking awesome gloves, though, man. I
Thank
like
you,
that,
thank
bro.
you.
I guess I still got to work on these, man. I got to dribble it down a little more, man, to get sharper, but
You can easily just get try to get like clothing spikes.
Yeah.
And then just like buy
Thoughts?
random MMA gloves.
right, yeah.
And then that's it. And then just like drill a hole through the bottom,
It's just,
put the spike on top.
Knuckles from the Super Subway Brothers, by the way, he's just sweating on him. He's just like fainting. He's just speechless. He's just so freaking out and all that other stuff. It was good to see that that we see a good Knuckles, and because he has never seen, or like he has never seen a Knuckles cosplayer, or at least a good cosplayer. I'm not really sure. You can tell me on the comments though, but it was damn good. And here is what happened after that.
I can't believe it. After all these cons I've been to, after all these places I've been to, finally, there is another Knuckles here. Finally. Oh my god, I see nothing but other characters, but finally there's another one. Thank God.
He found another Knuckles.
I found another Knuckles.
I think I'm about to buy this game, bro.
He found another Knuckles.
Where?
Right
Over there.
Over there.
Oh my God.
Look at him, he's sweating.
I can't believe Yo. And he's black.
And he's black.
He's also black too. That's the only relation.
Yup.
Oh my
By
God.
the way,
Oh my goodness.
And it's Sonic
What?
$100 to see
anything you like?
Yes, I see myself.
Knuckles. You want Knuckles?
Now, before I go any further, I want to take a quick step back and mention the cosplays that were there. There was a decent amount of cosplayers. There was like 12 or 15. There's me. Like, I don't really count myself. Like, you can look at mine as a cosplay though, but I don't look at it as a cosplay. It's just pretty much my character. But if you want to count me, then that's fine. There was Link, who was a good friend of mine. There was a Chun-Li that I was really sweating on. Here you go.
I just want to say, you look good.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
What happened?
What happened?
This Chun-Li is too on point.
Wait, what now?
This Chun-Li is too on point.
She kind of is.
I love Chun-Li so much.
Mario has died! We need some coins! Not dead.
Chun-Li! Good day.
There was also Virgil. There was also the main character from Persona 4. There was Ken, who was with us the whole time. There was also there was a couple more actually. There was I think there was another Sonic over there. I think there was Sonic, and there was also well, the Knuckles, of course, that I mentioned earlier. And there was also a Batman, but I didn't really see him for much. There was a there was Iggy, as I mentioned earlier. There was a good amount of cosplayers, a decent amount though. But because I mean, it is a video game convention though, so like, it didn't really surprise me that there was not that many cosplayers though. It was more focused on video games though. Although cosplay does come into the topic of video games,